Hey, what's up guys? My name is Jake from startblogging101.com and I am very excited to announce that my team and I have put in hundreds and hundreds of hours of work to bring you the next generation of Start Blogging Blocks, and it's finally here. Start Blogging Blocks are a set of WordPress wireframe templates built with Kadence Blocks, and they allow you to build landing pages and blog posts so much faster than before. In fact, we have over 300 templates now with this latest update. We have nearly 2,500 users already, and we are growing extremely quickly. And if you'd like to try out these templates for free, which I'll be showing you a little later in this video and show you all of the updates that we have made, we have over 70 completely free templates available to you. And so you can go to startbloggingblocks.com and scroll down here and you'll see a section that says try Start Blogging Blocks for free. And all you have to do is put in your first name and your email address and click send me the free blocks, and you will get your free license key sent to you immediately. And so let's jump in and give you an overview of all of the updates and features that we've added to make these block templates better than ever. And so for this video, I'm gonna use an example of one of our sales funnel full page templates that we have, because it uses a number of our templates that are all strung together to build a beautiful sales funnel type of page to sell a product such as an ebook or really anything that you can think of. And I'm gonna show you the difference between the old way, which was originally relying on Kadence Blocks 2.0, and then I'm gonna show you the new way with all of the new updated templates that are taking advantage of all the Kadence Blocks 3.0 features and updates that they've made to make building pages and blog posts easier than ever. And so this page that I've put together, this is using the old version of Start Blogging Blocks, and you can see that it has a hero section here with an enticing headline to engage your readers, a call to action button. There's a content section that says about the book with 3 different content boxes for different book highlights. We have a call to action here where you can call out something specific with another call to action button. Then we have more content sections here that says what you'll get inside the book. And then we have the image on the left with text on the right. And then we swap that with the text on the left and the image on the right. And you can add whatever images you want here. And then as we scroll down, we have an entire section for about the author. So you could have a big image here of the author and tell a bit about yourself or whoever the author is. And then further down here, we have a testimonial section that says, see what our readers have to say, with 3 different testimonials and star ratings, along with their image to give that amazing social proof to help build trust with potential buyers. And then at the bottom here, we have a money back guarantee section where you could put a little badge to show your money back guarantee. You could have an image of yourself or whoever it is for the author with a little tagline. And so here I am on a new sales funnel template using all of the new updated Start Blogging Blocks templates. And I'm gonna run through this super quickly because it's going to look the same, but in the back end, there are so many new updates and changes that we have made that are super exciting, and I think you're gonna love it. So here we are again with the hero section here. We have the content boxes here. We have a brighter and bolder call to action here. We have the content sections with what you'll get in the book and the various call to actions here. We have about the author, the testimonials, and the money back guarantee. And again, it looks the same, but there are dozens of optimizations and updates we've made in the back end that make these templates so much better than they were before. So let's show you the old templates and the old way of how this sales funnel was built. And then I'll show you some of the issues and things that you ran into. And then we'll show you the new way and all of the optimizations and things that we've done to make this so much better. So with the old way in this hero section, there's a few things that I'm gonna point out here. So if we go to the top level row layout, this is a new Kadence Blocks 3.0 feature where it shows you the padding that you can see on the top and bottom that you have added. And previously using the old way, if I go into the advanced section here, you can see that we have 120 pixels added to the top and bottom for this hero section. And if you use pixels for your top and bottom padding in Kadence Blocks 3.0, you can come in here and you can click and drag this to make this taller or shorter. And so you can see I'm making this bigger here, or I can make it smaller here by clicking and dragging. And the same is true for the bottom section here as well. But a couple of things that aren't great about this is it's kind of hard to hit an exact value and the consistency isn't there. So if you want to have consistent designs, you have to sit here and you'd have to remember, hey, I used 120 pixels of padding here. I used 120 pixels of padding here. And then you would do that throughout your page if you wanted consistent top and bottom padding. And if we jump down to this content section here, many times we were using rem values for our vertical padding for top and bottom, such as 6 rems on the top and 6 rems on the bottom here. And you should be using rem values for your top and bottom vertical padding. I won't get into why in this video, but don't worry, with the new templates and the new variables that Kadence has introduced with Kadence Blocks 3.0, all of that is completely taken care of, and you don't even need to know what a rem value even is. But you can see with this content section, since we used rem values, you can't click in here and make this section taller or shorter. You would have to come over into the advanced tab here, and then you'd have to come in here and change the values to say 4 and 4. And now those are updated to be 4 rem and 4 rem. And that just takes more work, it's more clicks, and it's more typing. So now let's jump over to the new templates and show you how this has been majorly improved. So here we are on a page with the new templates. I'm at the top level row layout for the hero section here. And when I hover over this, you can see that it says 3x large on top and bottom. And that's because these templates are all now taking advantage of the Kadence Blocks 3.0 variable sizing. And so with this, it's very, very easy to click and drag and make these padding sections bigger or smaller, and they just click into place for each of the values. And so you can see that you can easily make this larger or you can make this smaller, and it just snaps into place for extra large, large, medium, small, extra small, and you can just go through all of the variable values here super easily. And if we jump over to the advanced tab here, you can see that the values show here as 3XL, and you can actually come in here and you can just click and drag this slider as well if you don't want to do it from the editor. And that's way easier and nicer than it was before, where you used to have to type the values, or if you were using pixels, you would have had to remember the exact pixel count and keep that consistent throughout all of your designs. And so I'm not going to show you every single one of the templates we have gone through. You can see that our content sections have 2x large here, and you can easily just make that larger or smaller like that, and that the same holds true for the bottom. You can see that this inline call to action template here has medium on the top and bottom. And once again, I mean, you can go in here and you can make this as large or as small as you'd like within literally a few seconds. And so now here I am back on the old templates. And the next thing I want to go over is typography and the font sizes and line heights. So previously on the old version of Kadence Blocks, there weren't any variable sizing options similar to what you just saw with the padding. And so let's click into this hero section headline here, and you can see that we had to manually type in various sizes here for the font size and the line height, and we had to update that for desktop, tablet, and mobile. And so you can see for this headline, we specifically had set 3.5 rems for the font size, and we had set 4.5 rems for the line height, because at the time, we did not have the line option for line height. That is a more generic value, and I'll talk about that in a second here. But we had to use rems prior, and then if we switch to tablet mode here, you can see that we now have a new updated value. We had to make it smaller, so that's set to 3.2 rems with a line height of 3.7 rems. And then if we go to mobile here, you can see that the value is set to 2.2 rems and the line height is set to 2.7 rems. And so we had to specify different values for each device size in rems for desktop, tablet, and mobile, along with a specific line height for each of those. And that worked fine. You can see that the headline looks great in all of these various screen sizes here. But the issue is that if you are a beginner, or even if you're intermediate and you didn't exactly know that there were hard-coded values in there, say you wanted to change this to something smaller. So say you have more words written in this headline here and you wanted to change it to something smaller. So you came in here and you changed it to 2.5 rem. Now the issue with setting it to 2.5 rem is the line height was hard coded at the time to 4.5 rem. And now the space in between the heading here is way too much. And if you would have noticed that, then you would have had to come in here, you would have had to change this to 3 rem or whatever it is to make it look a little nicer. And you can see that the spacing is a lot better now. But what you may not have realized is that there were various values set on every screen size. So you would have had to come into tablet here. You would have had to change this to something smaller. So maybe this would have become 2.2 rem. and maybe this would have become 2.7 rem, and so on and so forth. And so you would have had to do that for every single heading if you wanted to make it bigger or smaller, and that just takes so much work. And so now let's jump over to the new templates and show you how amazing this is now. So here I am on the new templates. We have the hero section here, and if I click into the hero headline here, you can see that we're now using the Kadence predefined variable sizes along with generic line heights, and this makes it so much better than it was before. The incredible thing about using the Kadence predefined font sizes here is that it's using clamp in the background, and you don't need to necessarily know what clamp does, but I want to show you how amazing this is for mobile responsiveness throughout every single screen size, and it's all 100% taken care of for you. So let's preview this template and show you what I mean. So here I am previewing this template. Once again, this was set to the 2XL font size, which, as I said, is using clamp in the background. And so what that means is as your viewport gets smaller, your headline is going to slowly get smaller and adjust to look perfect no matter what the screen size is. So watch this headline here as I squeeze in the page and watch as it gets smaller and adapts. So here I am, I'm making this smaller. And as we hit here, you can see that ever so slightly, every time I'm making this smaller, it's slowly getting smaller to look great with the screen size. Here I am on tablet, and then we get into mobile here, and I scroll down, and I'm gonna bring this at about 370 pixels. And you can see how amazing that looks. And I didn't have to do anything because the templates are already using the Kadence predefined variable sizes. And so here it is on mobile again. And then as your viewport gets larger, you can see that it's slowly getting bigger, and then it fully fills out to look perfect. And so now that we're using the Kadence variable sizing here, and we've set a generic line height of 1.2 on this heading is going to look amazing no matter what size you choose. So we no longer have to set a specific font size for tablet and for mobile, and we no longer have to type in or update our line height for tablet and mobile. So all we're doing is setting the size at the desktop level here of 2XL with a generic line height of 1.2, which is going to be 20% larger than whatever the size is. And then we don't have to do anything for tablet or mobile. So if I go to tablet here, it's all automatically inherited from the desktop. So you can see that these are blank. And if I go to mobile here, you can see that these are blank. And so you don't have to touch anything for tablet or mobile, and it's gonna look fantastic. And so once again, we are on the new templates here. And as I scroll down the page here, you can see that these headings, we're using the XL heading here. And if you wanna change this, it's literally as simple as just updating this here, right? So you can just make this as big or as small as you'd like. You can type whatever words you'd like. The line height is set here generically, and it's going to look great. And so if you have multiple words and this is longer, the spacing is going to be perfect. And you can see if we go to the advanced tab on this headline here, we have now updated all of the vertical padding in between elements to use those variable sizing as well. And so you can see that we have XS set here for underneath the headline. It's really nice because when you hover over it, you can see it visually in your editor, and it gives you such a better picture of where that padding and spacing is coming from. And it's literally as simple as just clicking here, and you can just make this as big or as small as you'd like. The same is true for here. So if you want this to be bigger or smaller between your content boxes, you can set that and do this within a few seconds. And if we jump back to the old templates here, if we go to the advanced tab, you can see that we had set hard-coded rem values, which was fine because that's all we had available to us at the time. But then you would have had to come in here and you would have had to type, 1.5 or whatever. And that's not a huge deal, but the ability to be consistent throughout every single one of these designs by using the Kadence predefined sizes is so much better. And having that consistency throughout your website is gonna look like it's completely professionally made. The next thing I wanna show is the inside spacing that we used for sections. So I am on the old templates here, and if I click into this section right here and I go to the advanced tab, you can see that we had 30 pixels set around this specific section. And so say you wanted to make this smaller, you would have had to come in here, you would have had to click on this, and then you could type, maybe 20. And then you can see that now it has 20 pixels. Again, not a huge deal, but the consistency is just not there because then you would have to go and manually set 20 pixels or 30 pixels, or remember what you had for each one of your content sections, and updating it causes a lot of extra clicks, a lot of extra typing. And now with the new templates, it's so much easier to handle this and have a consistent design system. So let's jump over to the new templates and show you what I mean. And so here I am with the new Start Blogging Blocks templates. And if I click inside this section here and I go into the Advanced tab, you can see that now the padding is set to medium. And so once again, this is now using the predefined variables set by Kadence. So say you want to take this padding and make it smaller. Now all you have to do is click on this, and then you have this slider to really easily change the padding values and have it be consistent for every single size that they have. So I have this one set to small at 24 pixels now. And I could either copy and paste these styles over to the next section, or I could just come in here and I could really easily just bump that down like that and come over here and bump that down like that. And that is so much quicker and requires way less clicks and typing than manually going in and setting padding values which aren't going to be consistent all the time. One other thing we've done is brought consistency to all of our buttons, a nice bold look for the text and the arrows for many of our call to action buttons. So you can see that here. And if I go back to the old templates here, you can see that this call to action template is not as big or as bold as the new way. And this call to action button doesn't stand out nearly as much as it does in the new way. So if we jump over to the new way, you can see how much better that call to action button is. We're using, once again, obviously the variable font sizing for this. And so that's super easy to make bigger or smaller with the 1.2 line height for headlines here. That just brings in those lines and makes that spacing look a lot better. And then as we scroll down here, I won't get into it all, but we're obviously using all of the variable sizing for these headings. We're using the variable sizing for the vertical padding between all of these, and they're all consistent throughout all 300 plus of our templates. And my team and I have spent so many hours perfecting these designs on tablet and mobile. And so now that I've showed you a full landing page and a number of the updates and optimizations we've made with those templates for building landing pages, let's jump over to a blog post and show you a few of these templates really quick, because this is where Start Blogging Blocks really shines. These blocks are absolutely perfect for affiliate bloggers, and they're extremely conversion focused. So you are going to make a lot more money with your blog posts and things like that when using these templates. And we have entire blog post outlines. And so every single thing that you see here is a single blog post outline that you can import within one click here. And so let's go over some of these templates and show you what I mean. So if we go to the Kadence Design Library button here, you can see that I am connected to the Start Blogging Blocks library. And if we go down, I'm going to click on Blog Post Outlines. And the one I'm showing you right here is this listicle post 1, which I just clicked on right here to import this. And if we scroll down here, this is where you'd put your featured image. We've updated our table of contents to just have a better design. We've updated the box shadows and things to be consistent throughout all of our templates here. We've basically rehauled and rebuilt many of our templates from scratch to be so much better using all of the Kadence Blocks 3.0 functionality and features. And so this product box here, you see these all the time on Wirecutter and other sites like that. They're absolutely incredible for increasing conversions on your website. This thing was completely reimagined. We have a much bigger product title here. Once again, using all of the variable sizing, so you can make this as big or as small as you'd like. The line heights are all optimized. There's no more hard coding values or needing to use rem values or things like that. You have the tagline up here that says best choice, and this can say best for whatever. You can type whatever you'd like here, but I'm just gonna leave that to say best choice. Again, going back to the call to action buttons that I showed you on the landing page before, we've updated the buttons to be perfectly consistent with the text and the arrow here to be nice and bold. They stand out, they draw your visitors' eyes. And then if we go to the top level row layout here, once again, we're using those predefined sizes from Kadence for the variable padding. So now you can really easily come in here and click and drag this to be as big or as small as you'd like. So there's no more of these hard-coded like 2 rem values that you weren't able to click and drag to make bigger or smaller. We completely revamped every single one of our pros and cons designs. So if we go into the Kadence Design Library button here, we have a pros and cons section here, and there's a number of beautiful designs here in both light and dark theme. And so this is all using the Kadence Blocks 3.0 functionality with the variable headline sizes here and the line heights. We have the list items here. If you go to the top level row layout, you can easily change, the column gutter in between here. If you want it bigger or smaller, you can come in and obviously make this bigger or smaller if you'd like as well. And it's all very, very easy to customize. And then we give you some instructions throughout these blog post outlines of what you should write about so that this blog post looks amazing in Google's eyes. And then as you scroll down here, we have the second product listed with a different tagline, and you can obviously change these and customize these to whatever you'd like. You can update the button if you'd like to say, check price on Amazon. And then it's literally as simple as, plugging in your product title. You would just swap out your image here. You'd add the link to your call to action button here. You'd fill out your pros and cons, and do that for all of your products here. And so to show you what this looks like in a real demo, let's jump over here. And this is that same exact listicle post with some real images and some demo content added. And so here you have your featured image for your blog post. You can see that the table of contents perfectly reads in all of your headings. And the hierarchy of these headings has all been optimized and configured within these templates for these blog post outlines. And then as you scroll down here, you can see, we have different products listed. We've added our product title. You would add your product call to action link here. And then you have, your product, your pros and cons here. And you'd fill those out, and then you scroll down, and you'd have a new product image with the new name. And you can do that throughout all of these templates here. And it's so easy to build a beautiful blog post that Google is going to love, and you're going to rank higher on Google because of it. And you can see, for example, in this last product here, that this headline is set to an H2 element and these pros and cons are set to H3. And so we have that perfectly optimized, and that's why when you come up here to the table of contents, that's what is causing these indentations. And this is exactly what Google likes to see within various blog posts like this so that it understands what your content is about and is able to show it to more people searching. One more major update that I want to show you is in our feature grid templates here. So with Kadence Blocks 3.0, they took advantage of using CSS Grid, and that allows us to build so many more layouts with a lot less elements and gives us a lot more flexibility within these elements. So any of these kind of templates here that have multiple columns and multiple rows, prior to Kadence Blocks 3.0, you would have had to build something like this with multiple row layouts. And what I mean by this is if we go to the old way of building these feature grids, in order to create a template like this, we would need a top level row layout encapsulating this whole thing. And then each 3 columns here would be their own individual row layout. So if I click into here and I go to the row layout, you can see that these 3 columns, just this top row is a row layout, and it has, its own padding and settings. And then below that, you would have needed to create a second row layout. And so this is a second row layout here. And so the issue with that is you would have multiple row layouts, each with their own settings that you would need to maintain. It created a larger DOM size, which means the number of elements needed to build that type of template. And it didn't have the flexibility that CSS Grid gives us. So if I open up the document overview for the old way here, you can see here's that top row layout here. Then there's a section in there, and then there's 2 individual row layouts. And if I expand these each have the 3 sections within them. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 levels deep to build this template the old way. And then if we jump back over to the new template here, let's look at this one. You can see that this is a single row layout now, and each one of these sections all lives within this single individual grid. And so if I go to the top level row layout and open up the document overview here, that's this specific one right here. You can see that here's the top level row layout that is encapsulating the whole thing. And then there are only 6 sections beneath it. So it's only 2 levels deep, and it saves a number of DOM elements, which makes this even more lightweight than it already was before. And not to mention, if we close this here, it gives us a number of really, really nice features with using CSS Grid. And so if I'm at the section level here, I can very, very easily swap these sections and the position of these sections without needing to copy and paste elements. So there's this little button here and it says move right. And you can see that feature 1 now moved right, and you can move it right. And if you want feature 3 to go over here, you can. And so it's really, really easy to do that. And you can do it among different rows. So I can click move right here, and it jumps it down to the second row here. And that's because they all live within this individual grid. And so let me just get these back to normal here. And then another really nice feature is, say I want to add another row of 3 sections here, you can very easily do that. So I'm going to come to the section level here, and I'm going to come to the 3 dots and click duplicate. And then I'm just going to do that 2 more times here. And just like that, I have feature 7, 8, and 9. And so updating all of our feature grid templates to take advantage of the new CSS grid features available in Kadence Blocks 3.0 unlocks a ton of brand new customization and feature options for you. Plus, you get some really nice layout tricks with desktop, tablet, and mobile. And so let's preview some of these and show you what I mean. And so here we have a list of a number of feature grid templates that we have, and I'm going to show you something here. So here we have a grid that is a 4x2 grid. So let's show you what this looks like on different screen sizes. So I'm going to hit F12 in Chrome here to open up the developer tools. And then I'm almost covering it, but in the bottom left here, you can see this little device toolbar. I'm going to choose that. And then you can come up here and choose responsive for dimensions. And then that allows you to take this and drag it and get all different types of screen sizes. And you can see the pixels at the top there. And so here's what it looks like on desktop. And then as we get smaller here and go to tablet, you can see that we switched it so that it became then a 2x2 grid for each individual row. And so that's super nice. You are able to see these with so much more space now rather than cramming them all in there. And then if we make this even smaller for mobile, you can see that they all collapse into a single column here, and it lists them all out right here. And so another place that is really nice is in one of these newer feature grids that we've built here. You can see that each of these sections have a nice hover effect. And then you can also individually link each of these sections so that if you click anywhere within this box, it will take you to whatever page you'd like. Before, if you had a 3x2 grid like this one, when it went to tablet, normally the 3 columns would just squish and they wouldn't really look very good. But now let's look at what this looks like on different screen sizes. So I'm going to enable the toolbar again, and then we're going to slowly bring this down. And as this jumps to tablet, so here it is on desktop, and as it jumps to tablet, now what we can do is a 2x3 grid very, very easily in Kadence Blocks with these Start Blogging Blocks templates. And this looks so much better than having it squished before. And so just to show you what it looks like using the old way, I'm going to come back here and we're going to preview this old feature grid with the previous templates. And if we open up the device toolbar here, you can see that when I'm at tablet, it just squishes these 3 columns until we get to mobile, and then it collapses into a single column. But when it looks like this, all of the content is very squished. I mean, it looks okay here, but many times you might need to tweak your column or gutter settings, and it just doesn't look as good. And so we jump back here, you can see how much nicer this looks as a 2x3 grid with 2 columns and 3 rows. And then obviously we have gone and tweaked every single aspect. That means that we have tweaked every single one of these borders on a template like this to look absolutely perfect on every screen size. So then as we get to mobile here, you can see that the border now just takes up 1 pixel in between each section at the top, and this all looks fantastic. And so that's a quick overview of the next generation of Start Blogging Blocks and all of the updates and optimizations that we have made to take advantage of Kadence Blocks 3.0. This is honestly, truly just the tip of the iceberg of what I showed you. But the reason we have put so much time and effort into the quality of these templates is because we want to make it as easy as humanly possible for you to build landing pages and blog posts that look amazing. Your site's going to look like it's professionally made. They're going to convert so much better than it was before because these templates are way better than just having massive walls of text on your website. So if you're already a Start Blogging Blocks user, you have all these templates available to you. All you need to do is refresh your cloud libraries. And if you aren't yet a Start Blogging Blocks user, sign up for the free blocks at startbloggingblocks.com/free and get started with over 70 of these templates that are going to be 100% free always. Hey, if you liked this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.